you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you're joining me from. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Accept my greeting according to your time zone. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You can be among the first to receive it. Then go to the comment section at all times. Leave your comment, drop your contribution. If you have suggestions, make it out there. If you have any criticism, put it down on the comment section. It will make us to get better, presenting you a better program. Thank you.
I need that audio immediately. We are going to first of all begin the exposition of what we read on the newsprint today, coming from the politicians in Biafra land. The man whom you are going to see on this particular platform is the reason of the insecurity in Hamufu. And Biafrans will know him today. Those of you watching on Twitter, we urge you to join us on Enter Biafra. Thank you. Join us on Enter Biafra because the Twitter broadcast will be shut down. Join us on Enter Biafra. Thank you very much. Right. This man you are seeing here is the janitor. He is the janitor of the insecurity in Hamufu. He is the reason for the insecurity in Hamufu. And some of them now are running to become something in a different state. These are the people, the criminals that are sponsoring the insecurity in Biafra land. And some of you, before you start writing petition this coming Saturday, when you are going to write that petition, after today's broadcast, you will know whose name, who you are going to drag in your petition. So the reason for this broadcast is so that you know those you are going to write petition against. Don't call Biafrans. Do not call Simon Ekpa. What I'm doing now is to call your attention to this security threat. That they have armed many thugs from their different political parties. And we do not want what happened in Lagos in the last election to happen in Biafra land. So sit at home in your house to avoid, shouting, had I known. I need Wike's voice. I need the audio of Wike and Fayose discussing how they did it. There is this Wike and Fayose discussing how they did it. I need that audio immediately. I need that audio because it corresponds with this. It corresponds with this particular broadcast today. Yes, with Fayose or Fayoshe, what is it called? Wike and Fayoshe was discussing how they order the kill anybody you can kill. Kill anybody you can kill. Kill anybody you can kill. That was the order of Wike. Kill anybody you can kill. So we need those audios for our people to also know the impunity and what they are planning. Those of you that have that audio, please forward it to me Forward it to me immediately. Forward it to me. Otherwise, let us go forward to what we have to do here. Enugu state government has distributed guns, police, army, uniforms to PDP talks ahead of March 18 election. Labour Party kicks. I want you people to understand, hold these people responsible when it starts to happen. That's why we are calling for the seat at home, because we know they will stop at nothing to kill you. Delegation, in a statement issued on Sunday, called on the federal government to conduct an urgent audit of the guns approved for vigilante security services in the state to avert what he described as a war on the... I want you to understand that this Edoga is the biggest security threat. This Edoga you see here is the biggest security threat in Enugu State. If you don't know today, if you don't know before, you know today that this man called Edoga has been one of the biggest threats to Ndi Igbo, especially those residing in Ehamufu. Everything we did to secure Ehamufu against the killer Fulani men, the terrorist Fulani men, this man has been the janitor of the sabotage against the security of the people of Ehamufu. So, if you are from Ehamufu area, apart from what is government now, believe me, when you see bad people coming publicly to allege that something is happening, only perfected the plan, know that he himself is directly involved. So if any this Saturday, hold this man responsible in Enugu. If anybody is killed in Enugu for this election by thugs wearing army uniform, wearing police uniform, hold. If you stay in your house, nobody will kill you. If you stay in your house, you will not be killed by anybody. If you stay in your house, this man will not kill you. So, if you love yourself and love your life and love your families and your siblings and your loved ones, don't step out of your house this coming Saturday. See how they will write the result and the world will watch them. That whatever we do today, however we demonstrate in this coming election, it is something we are going to use in the future of our liberation. So once we speak like we spoke in the last election, where over 2 to vote, only 4 million people voted. So this time around, let us see that in all the states, the people that will validate, because we know that no matter how, some people will try and they will go and take the risk. So let us make sure that even if they validate the vote, let 2 million people. So we must lock down everywhere, stay in your house, cook food and eat with your family. Had I known, are for those who are alive to tell the story. These people are ready to do anything, to eliminate anybody, to kill anybody, just for them to power. And I'm going to play the voice of Wike, where Wike have ordered in River State in the last election. And this audio, when I will play it, very important. Very, very important. Very important. We are going to read the news in details. I want everybody to listen. Chief candidate of the Labour Party in Enugu State, Chijioke Edoga, has raised the alarm of by the People Democratic Party in Enugu State to use armed thugs to frustrate the March 18. Edoga, who made this allegation in a statement issued on Sunday, called on the federal government urgent audit of the guns approved for vigilante security in the state to avert what he described as a war on the people of the state. Now, an audit, who are they going to use to, perpetrate this crime? Vigilantes. They are going to use the same vigilantes to commit this crime. So, the audit of the arms given to the local criminals called the vigilante, the arms is going to be intact, isn't it? Audit is that show your gun, this is my gun, and then you keep it. So, or is he alleging that the vigilante will now hand over the gun, miscreant or to the thug of the PDP to start killing people? No, the vigilante themselves are the thug. So this man, he knows what he's saying, of course. His own thugs, so he has actually armed his own thugs. So the vigilantes are the thugs of the politician in the southeast. The same thing Ebubago is their thugs. Ebubago is the one that will carry gun that day to kill people and snatch ballot paper and destroy it. It is going to happen. Mark my word now as I'm saying it. Don't say we did not warn you. Remember that in the last election, Southeast was the most peaceful place during the election. It is only in the Southeast that there were no crises. Only in the Southeast that somebody was not killed. But in Lagos, you recorded killing, you recorded burning, you recorded stabbing with knife. Even a woman that, they almost plug her eyes. So those people today that died in Lagos, they have gone. Nobody can remember them again. Nobody can remember their family. In fact, houses have been destroyed. Nobody knows their name. And I am calling in the Igbo in Lagos. Stay. If you come out, validate Nigeria in Lagos, you know what they are doing to you. You are going to come out, you will vote. At the end of the day, they are going to go house to house for you. They will not be there for you. You can imagine a man that cannot even organize ordinary demonstration. Protest. Ordinary protest, P2B cannot. All this noise that we're making everywhere. Oh, we'll hijack Nigeria. We'll take Nigeria back. Oh, Nigeria must deliver to organize. And that is a man that will come to Lagos to talk to Yoruba and the Hausa people or you Fulani people that are butchering you and burning your market. Now they are pushing you to go out and vote. They have created this particular tribal tension, going to be at the receiving end. My own is like a watchman, just like what Ezekiel 33 said yesterday. My own is to warn you, deliver the word of God to you. It is less for you to go and die. Because if you die for Nigeria, it is the ever. So I want us to, to listen to some of the coming from a wiki report, and then we bring the video in a few minutes. This man continued. Former chairman House Committee on Information, House of Representatives, accused the state government and the PDP of distributing hired party thugs with arms, which were approved for procurement by the federal augment the effort of the conventional security service in the state. He noted that the PDP wanted to use suppression thuggery and the manipulation of election results to steal the forthcoming election, adding that since their grip at the National Assembly election, the ruling party had been devising means to rig the polls. According to him, if urgent steps are not taken to arrest the thugs that have allegedly imported into the state to destabilize the election, those of trying to steal the election are determined to make the voting process a bloody process. Are you hearing? This man is telling you that they want to make the voting process a bloody process in Enugu State. Not Enugu alone, no. This is what they're going to do in Biafra land. That's why we are telling Biafrans to sit at home. He accused the staff of Independence conniving with the PDP and officials of the Enugu State distribution of electoral materials as witnessed during the presidential election. He urged the federal government to mandate the electoral umpire to move all electoral material at the Enugu branch of the Central Bank of Nigeria to all the local government headquarters in the state. You see, I told you people that material is now in the bank, and he has finally reviewed it here. How many of you remember when I was revealing to you that the bank have turned to where they are storing election material? How many of you remember? I said banks have turned to where they are storing electoral. What you don't know is bigger than you. We told Biafrans that they now bank electoral material in the bank. Now bank have turned to INEC office. Are you not surprised? But I reviewed this information even before the general election, where I warned banks that those who made electoral material, who made their own bank premises electoral material, will not be guaranteed of their safety in Biafra land because we will not have anything to do with them. This man saying is revealing the same thing I reviewed weeks ago, that banks have turned to INEC. Become a political office. Banks has become INEC office that is responsible for banking electoral material. What? How messy, how dirty can Nigeria be? That upon all the things that bank can do, it is now to be converted. They do election and they do politics in the bank. You see why a lot of things are happening? No. You see why there were no money? Because banks have joined politics. Managers in the bank are the one now that have joined politics, know when to release money and when not to release money. They know when to hold the electoral material and when to release it. And if you are not worried, banks has become a place, the second office of INEC. I think it is now their official headquarters, because where you have the essential material for voting becomes your head office. So bank, central bank now is the head office of INEC. If something doesn't worry you, let this particular one worries you, because banks have joined them. Judiciary is gone. Now the next thing they are going to rubbish is banking system. So bank is now, they decide who to favor in releasing money, and they decide who not to favor. This is the worst part. This is the worst of it, where bank is now dragged into politics. Now let us read. He said he urged the federal government to mandate this electoral umpire to move all electoral material from its stage at the Enugu branch of Central Bank of Nigeria to all the local government headquarters in the state. Are you hearing it? From the look of things, what the People's Democratic Party is preparing for is not an election, but a war. It is a war against the people of the state process in Nigeria, and a war against the will of the people. We are making this call because we are also aware that these men are being armed and prepared to operate freely, appearing in police, army, and civil defense uniform. Are you people hearing it? Do not write petition, no. And if you are going to write, you know where you channel your petition to. A decoy that would enable free movement across the state to all areas targeted for their panel attack, for their planned attack. Some of the local government areas, the government and PDP have allegedly planned to unleash mayhem are Isuzo. You know where this Isuzo is? In the same Hamufu. Isuzo local government, Uwane, Igboeze North, Igboeze South, and Udenu, and some parts to Edoga, while urging the security agencies to take steps to protect its integrity of the election by providing adequate security for the people. Areas being specifically targeted for attack and delays is the deployment of the materials by thugs in Enugu metropolis, include Okpara School of Dental Technology, Achara Layout Primary School, Ido River Primary School, and for Isuzo, Uzo Uwani, Igboeze North, Igboeze South, and the Udenu local government area, we have been reliably informed that the council chairman for this local government council area have all hired thugs and already harboring them in some hotels and the residence of senior party officials in their respective areas. Edogo stress. I want you people to read though. He accused some highly placed people at the top echelon of the government and PP of being behind the plans, alleging that the Labour Party victory during the presidential election had driven the ruling party into the state into desperation. We have it on good authority that the plan by the enemies of the state is to strategically target many of the rural communities in the state where our intelligence has informed destruction of voting result is their core objective. We have also been informed that major polling units with potential for huge Labour Party vote have been identified with armed and dangerous non-state actors already briefed to do all within their power, including deadly force and killing, to ensure that results in the polling units are not collected and uploaded to the INEC server. Using the legally prescribed instrument of the BIMDOL voter registration system, BIVAS. We are aware that weapons which were legitimately acquired by the Enugu State government for the use by Enugu State Vigilante Service and the Forest Guard to support the effort of the agencies in protecting lives and property in the state are currently being distributed to potential party thugs for use in destabilizing the electoral process. These thugs, numbering in their hundreds, have been aggregated from various places and in outside Enugu State to spread mayhem, fear, intimidation, and even summary execution to feed the desperate and the inordinate ambition of the people who only will is to win election, he said. He called the DSS, DMI, and the INEC to take every step necessary for a free, fair, credible, and transparent election. Are you people reading it? this is coming from a governorship aspirant, which is to tell you the reason why these people are killing our people, and then each time they kill, they will accuse Biafra people. They will look for who to put it on his head and all that. The same thing. That is why you can no longer elect these criminals to represent you, as we are not going to validate Nigeria again. These criminals that call themselves governors or anything, whatever they call themselves, cannot be elected within Biafra land to represent you in Nigeria state. We are not going to validate Nigeria, and we are not going to also give them the mandate to bring military that will kill you and to bring talks that will kill you. On this note, I want you to listen to Wiki. This is what